Boom. All right, what's going on, you guys? It's Royce Jacob. Welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to Crypto Convo, a series where we cover exciting news and price action in the land of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. You guys, what is going on with the crypto markets is the simple yet not so simple question that we are going to be discussing today. So let's do exactly that, get straight into it. As always, we'll quickly go over the topics we're going to be discussing, and then we'll dive into each one individually. In front of us, you guys know the drill, Trading View, where we will discuss technicals, price action, and price targets on the following names today in this order going down the watch list. You can see right here, kicking it off with Ethereum, mixing things up a little bit. Don't worry, we will get into Bitcoin a little later in the video, but kicking it off with Ethereum, you guys, the crypto markets overall, as all of you know at this point, not only the crypto markets, but the equity markets as well, which of course we will touch on as we move through the week, expecting more volatility ahead personally. If you guys have been watching the videos, you know that I've been expecting this. Again, it's not as fun to be a bear, but that's the reality of the market sometimes, and you do have to adapt or you're going to get slapped, okay? So I do expect more downside ahead. I do, of course, want to talk to you guys about my price targets on both the upside, in the case that maybe we are bottoming out right now and we do see more upside. But again, as far as my personal opinion is concerned, keep that in mind. All of this is just my opinion, you guys. There is likely more downside ahead when you gauge technicals, both technicals and just general investor sentiment, because it's feeling pretty negative at the moment, okay? So kick it off with ETH. Move on to Chainlink, and as we move into Chainlink, so kick it off with the ETH on charts. Before we do dive into Link or Chainlink, I do want to go over this article as well, because we got some fun articles to cover today. So this crypto subsector coming from banks and fintech, says Chainlink founder Sergey Nazarov. This is a great image right here. I dig this. But this is a very cool, I think this is a very cool article and an insightful article as to how the heads of these companies, Chainlink, probably one of my single favorite projects, if not my single favorite project in the entire cryptocurrency space, because again, they're targeting DeFi, they're integrating real world data into the blockchain and into the crypto sphere, if you want to call it that. But Chainlink, very cool company. You guys know that. I've been following Chainlink forever, and I'm sure many of you guys have as well. But this is a cool article. I do want to just lay kind of like this bullish opinion as far as the long term is concerned, you guys, because again, short term, things may be bloody. We've ripped so hard over the past year or so. Keep that in mind. Even after the correction, we're still so up year over year. But again, corrections are healthy. Corrections are a healthy part of every bull market. And when you can find strong fundamentals like in Chainlink and like in EOS, like the article we're going to talk about after this, those are the ones that are very, very worth, in my opinion, picking up at a discount as we continue to see these short-term corrections, okay? So we'll kick it off with this. Take a look at Chainlink on the charts. And again, EOS, after Link on the charts, we'll dive into this, which is actually a pretty dated article at this point. This is a week old, but I have not covered it since I last talked about EOS. So $10 billion launch triggers 50% jump in EOS cryptocurrency. So this is from May 11th. You guys started. This is already a week old at this point. But we'll quickly go over this, just give you guys an idea of why I'm still so bullish on EOS from a fundamental perspective moving forward, similar to the Chainlink article. So although I'm short-term bearish, I really want to give this video kind of a bullish tone as far as longevity is concerned, okay? So after that, we will touch on EOS, then move in to Doge after this article that we're going to look at about good old Portnoy El Prez. Why is crypto SafeMoon trending, and why is Dave Portnoy using it to diversify his Bitcoin exposure? So you guys, again, Portnoy is like the king of stonks. Stonks only go up. I love Dave Portnoy. I don't agree with his investment tactics, but that's okay. Many do. If you do, that's all good. But we will cover this. We're not going to look at SafeMoon at all. I've heard so much about SafeMoon. I'm not even paying any mind to what SafeMoon is, but we will educate ourselves a bit on it in this article, and the primary audience that I assume is buying it, which is Portnoy and again the Barstoolies or whoever kind of falls in that retail Joe Portnoy El Perez camp, which is a lot of people in this retail investor heavy environment. Okay, so after that, we will take a look at Doge again, not take a look at SafeMoon. I'm not concerning myself with SafeMoon. Doge is even a stretch, but I do still want to talk to you guys about my downside price targets for Doge, considering I've had them for a while and I still hold strong in the argument that I've held for the past week or so at this point, okay? After Doge, we will get to arguably something with almost as good a fundamental structure as Dogecoin is Bitcoin. So we'll close out the cryptocurrency sector, like the actual physical, digital, I guess, the actual cryptocurrency market sector with Bitcoin. Okay, so closed out with Bitcoin. Again, you guys, this is all looking pretty bad going into tomorrow. And as we move into equities, we'll close out with RIOT tomorrow. Both seeing a beautiful bounce today. RIOT's earnings, good. not extravagant, kind of exactly what I expected, but considering the majority of the crypto market looks like it wants to move down further. The equity indices futures are down. The Dow, Nasdaq, S&P, primarily the S&P and the Nasdaq are looking pretty bloody today. They closed the day in the red. And as I've been saying for the past week or so, guys, as I've been preparing for in the portfolio, I do expect more volatility ahead. Okay, so we will cover RIOT and Mara just as a little bonus at the very end, give you guys some of my thoughts surrounding crypto equities, when we might bottom out, when we might bounce back. And yeah, although my portfolio personally is not very heavy in these crypto equities, so I'll just we'll just leave on this page. But although my portfolio is not very heavy in crypto equities, no, never mind, we're gonna do this. I just like the background way more. So although my portfolio is not heavy in crypto equities at the moment, there are so many things that I'm super excited about right now. Like, shout out to the newsletter, existing subscribers, like existing Discord members. You guys know the drill here. Even if you've been watching the YouTube videos, just yesterday I was talking about the hedges that I have in this market right now. My portfolio is a large part of my portfolio is made up of hedges, or kind of like ETFs that play against the equity market going up, and like commodity plays, like precious metals, like just commodities in general, because the dollar continues to go down. But if the dollar is going down, if crypto is going down right now, there are other things that you can put your money into to make money. And again, being a bear is not as fun as being a bull, but you can't be a bull in a bear market, and there's always ways to make money when the market declines. So if you guys do want to know exactly how I'm trading right now, you can check out my complete portfolio and daily newsletter. That will be the first link down in the description. That's $15 a month. If you want to know literally exactly what my portfolio is comprised of every single day, I do update that every trading day during market hours. And along with every update, I send out an email newsletter explaining my thoughts, rationalizing to my trades to you guys, letting you guys know why I'm trading, what I'm trading, and when I'm trading it, okay? So if that does interest you, it means a lot if you check that out. That will be the first link down in the description. Once again, 15 bones a month. But if not, no worries at all. And it's actually been fun because crypto, you guys, even though, again, I'm not bullish on crypto at the moment, unfortunately, we are selling off right now. It's going to be kind of a fun video. I love when there's exciting price action as I'm recording a video. But again, you guys, although I'm not bullish on crypto right now, again, there's always ways to make money in the bear market. And once we bottom out, once I sense a bottom, once I sense a trend reversal, it's going to be sick because I've made money. I have dry powder now that I can use to buy the assets that I really love, like RIOT, like Mar, like zkin, like Seawork, like ALYI. After the correction's over and I've made my money off my hedges and my other commodity like plays that I'm very, very confident in, especially seeing the crypto market right now being a precursor to like the tech sector and stuff, NASDAQ, S&P. Super excited. And again, shout out to the Waves fam. I hope we are going to be eating good going to the week. And although it's messed up, I love seeing the market bleed while my portfolio is in the green. Okay, so on that note as well, I will not be making a video tomorrow because tomorrow is my B-Day. So the lady has some stuff planned. I want to abide by her wishes. Gonna simp for the B-Day a little bit. But on that note as well, I will, of course, be doing the newsletter, of course, but later in the day, again, I have a bunch of stuff to do later in the day. So newsletter is definitely going to be there, but again, it's the B-Day, so I'm going to spend it doing B-Day stuff. Maybe I'll record a video, but if not, of course, I will be here on Thursday, catch up with the markets. We're probably going to see some carnage, so it's going to be exciting for me. I'm going to be excited to make the Thursday video, and hopefully, honestly, we do see some carnage in the markets tomorrow because that would be a great birthday gift, and I'm well hedged at this point. So on that note as well, before we do dive into the charts, I do want to show you guys this. Please give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, or like all that good stuff. Subscribe to the channel for this, you guys. This was made by one of you guys. I'm going to put that close. Look at that. That's insane. This was made by a very, very talented member of the Waves family named Ashley Greer. So Ashley Greer artwork on Instagram, I will throw her handle down below. But she made this, like painted this for me. I did not ask for this at all, like from the just out of the kindness of her heart, and probably for a plug, to be honest. A smart move there, Ashley. But that's amazing, you guys. It's just so crazy to have such a strong community in the Waves family, and it feels that much better when we know we got some talent in here. So let me know in the comments down below what you guys do for a living, because I always like talking finance is fun and stuff, but especially during the more bearish times, that's the time when you can connect as a community, be there for each other, and yeah, learn more about each other outside of just the financial markets. Because although this is a big part of my life, it's ultimately still just a small part of my overall life and my overall interest in stuff. So I'm definitely interested to know what you guys do for a living, what you guys are interested in yourself. So please let me know down below what your talents are, what your passions are. Ashley's is obviously painting, and she did a very good job. So thank you very much, Ashley, for that. That said, let's dive into the chart. So Ether falling off a cliff right now. It looks like we are going to dump again across the board. So again, bearish, but exciting price action, that's for sure. It's not bullish price action, but it is exciting. So Ether is similar to the rest of the entire market in a very strong short-term downtrend. You can see right here, this is the line of resistance. Right here, we'll draw the line of support, and this kind of the same thing applies across the entire market. So in a very textbook descending channel at the moment, the evil twin of the ascending channel. So descending channel at the moment. Now that we're selling off, it does look like Ether wants to break what is a very, very strong line of support and resistance, acted as both a ceiling and a floor in the past right here. So Ether did come down and test that on the 17th, just a couple of days ago, or just yesterday, I'm sorry. I do think it's likely that we, at least if we do break this again, Ether came down, bounced off of it almost twice, and it did get eaten back up, which is not surprising at all, because that is once again a very strong trend line. So I do think Ether is just looking at this, is probably going to test the bottom side of this descending channel once again. If it does that, it will break this very strong trend line, this line of support currently in the higher tier ascending channel of this overall megaphone channel. And my overall price target for Ether, where I'm personally comfortable buying Ether, again, keep in mind, you guys, my average buy, or I bought the majority of my Ether at like $34. So it's going to be different. It's all relative to the individual and when you personally got in and where you established your position. But when I'll personally be comfortable converting my liquid to Ether, then I will do it around like the $2,100–$2,200 region, depending on when we hit this overall line of support. So the reason this is my price target, for very, very obvious reasons, just a very, very strong line of support on the overall downtrend. You could say that this, like this is a line of support as well right here. So I do expect some resistance around here. Make that orange, just because that's not the app. That's like, this is the absolute support right here, but orange will come into play as well, and that will actually also align if this, not so much. But regardless, you guys, I'm a big buyer of Ethereum. I'll just say this right now, at like $2,100–$2,200, which in all honesty would not surprise me at all to see a pullback to those levels, considering we just look at this. This is what, like, this is a hype cycle. This is a FOMO rally. This is exactly what I've played many, many times in the past. And it's okay. Corrections, once again, are a healthy part of the bull market, and it will pay off long term. So let's dive in to Chainlink. Chainlink is actually looking, as far as majorities of cryptos go, from both a technical and fundamental perspective, is looking very promising. So again, let's go over this article quickly before we dive into the charts. Just a few paragraphs here. The CEO of Chainlink Labs, Sergey Nazarov, is saying the nascent decentralized finance DeFi space could emerge as a primary competitor of banks and financial technology or fintech firms. In a roundtable discussion at the Lendit FinTech Conference, the co-founder of the Oracle Solutions provider says that DeFi is not going away and will likely capture a significant portion of the market that banks and fintech firms currently control. And I quote, "Let me be very clear with all the fintechs and banks, which I'm in every call I have with them. This isn't going away. This is the internet coming for a big part of your business." The Chainlink co-founder argues that users will be drawn to DeFi platforms such as Aave over legacy financial institutions because of the superior return on investment. Quote, "If you're a bank, if you're a fintech, I would strongly recommend that you ask yourself when and why users will want to use decentralized financial products. Here's one answer. A bank can give them 1% on Aave. They can get 8%. A bank can give them 1% interest, they're talking. On Aave, they can get 8%. The only reason they're not on Aave is because they don't know how to get on Aave." Nazarov adds that DeFi offers users increased transparency and control relative to traditional financial institutions. All true. All a reason that DeFi, the decentralized finance, the democratized ecosystem that is cryptocurrency, is so promising moving forward. And again, although things are looking bearish right now, and in all honesty, this is I do like to see it because I've been preparing for this. You guys, a lot of you guys know that. But again, as far as the long term is concerned, the long term fundamental prospects of what makes crypto important in this ever evolving, like exponentially moving world of technology and finance and DeFi and everything that's going on with crypto from a fundamental perspective is unchanged. And it's actually growing at a rapid pace, like same way tech grows exponentially. Crypto will grow exponentially as well as the technology evolves. Okay, so very exciting. Again, you guys, this is Chainlink is such a cool company moving forward, and right now it's looking like like as far as asymmetric risk profile goes, which is you guys hear me say this a lot, one of the primary indicators I look for when trying to determine whether or not I want to take a trade, especially a long position or a medium to long term position, is does the upside potential outweigh the downside risk as far as my time horizon on this trade is concerned. For Chainlink, it's looking pretty good. So Chainlink in a very similar chart, like in a similar pattern to Ether, except it's in this bottom channel. So Chainlink, over the course of this rally, beautiful ascending channel broke down, created this lower level ascending channel of this overall megaphone channel. Ether is currently Ether is currently down here on that same channel, but Ether did break out above the overall resistance. So Chainlink, it's going to be interesting to see if capital does flow from Ether and plays like Ether and Bitcoin into altcoins. Will Chainlink succeed? That's a great thought. That's like the optimistic scenario. But in all honesty, if tech is selling off, if crypto is selling off, if high risk assets are selling off, then it's way more likely to me that probably everything's going to correct. So upside price target for Chainlink by the end of the month. Best case scenario, optimistic case scenario, like very optimistic price target is going to be about $65. But what's far, far, far more likely, in my opinion, is that we come down to test support on the overall uptrend. That would take us down to because this could happen actually pretty fast. I do think we could come down to over the coming week, maybe even over the coming days, like $34 and if we do break this line of support, you guys, that's when things get pretty dirty. So let's hope we don't break the support. But the way things are looking right now, I would not be surprised if we do break the support. If we do break the support, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Usually my rule of thumb of a break of overall support, same thing just applied to RIOT tomorrow, to so many high risk assets that we track all the time. Once something breaks support, it's very likely that the initial high of the current rally, of the rally that we're currently on, will act as the floor, okay? So you guys will know what that means when we talk RIOT and MAR at the very end, but that's just a good rule of thumb. So that's Chainlink. Let's talk EOS a little bit. EOS is very, very bullish fundamentally, but on the charts does not look good. So let's cover this quickly. Just get those bullish fundamentals, refresh ourselves a little bit, splash a green in there, at least from a mental perspective, and then we'll dive into the charts, okay? So Block One announced that it created a new subsidiary, Bullish Global, with more than $10 billion in funding. That's insane. The latest news was announced after Block One provided Bullish Global with both cash and digital assets. Going forward, Bullish Global, with the announcement, states will function as an independent entity under Block One, which is the company behind EOS. Plans to work toward the launch of blockchain-based cryptocurrency exchange Bullish, which is planned for release later this year. So they have Bullish. Block One has Bullish, EOS. They have Voice.com. Like, Block One, EOS, moving forward is like could be like an absolute powerhouse in the digital realm, in the crypto realm, okay? So EOS, as far as longevity is concerned, especially considering EOS is pretty, like, as far as its market cap is concerned, is not very impressive. It's what, like the 15th to 20th largest cryptocurrency at any time, given the fluctuations of the price. But EOS still has a long way to grow, and with names like, again, where several prominent investors, including Peter Thiel, Novogratz, Alan Howard, Christian Angermeyer, Louis Bacon, Richard Lee, as well as institutions Nomura and Galaxy Digital took part in raising funds for this latest venture. So Peter Thiel here, all these other names are kind of familiar names across the space, but Peter Thiel investing in this is a big deal. Peter Thiel, if you guys don't know, one of Elon's OG boys, the PayPal mafia, like Mount Rushmore of Silicon Valley pretty much. If he's involved in this, that means big things. You want Peter Thiel on your team, especially if you're involved in tech. So very, very bullish news for EOS. Let's take a look at it on the charts. EOS, I mean, same, like all just same story here, you guys. EOS is in a very, very strong downtrend. You know what? This is a little, I mean, it's pretty much the same thing. So EOS in a very, very strong downtrend. We are selling off everything. Everything is selling off at a pretty stark pace at this moment in time. People are scared. Investor sentiment is low, which actually kind of plays into this pretty negative piece of news that I want to talk about at the end that I forgot to mention in the beginning. Not so much this article. This is a negative article, but it's not really this article that's important. It's the optics, okay? So as you guys know, optics are very, very important, especially in this retail-driven landscape. And the fact that institutions and market makers know that this is a retail-driven landscape and times are very emotional. So optics are very important, and we'll close out the video, especially as we get into Bitcoin, RIOT, Mara, around optics and stuff, okay? So EOS, I mean, same story, different coin, different chart. I mean, almost very similar charts across the board, you guys, just all start corrections. EOS, we've ripped news is extremely bullish, but from a technical perspective, we either do two things right now. We actually, I mean, just looking at this, it looks like a head and shoulders, but like textbook head and shoulders pattern. So it's likely to me that we do resolve this. If we resolve this, that would take us down to about just $7. Like, I'd personally be a buyer of EOS once again at $7. But just looking at this chart, you guys, like, I don't even know how much I have to rationalize here for you guys or how much I have to talk you guys through this. Just looking at this chart this is not bullish. So the saving grace here, the light at the end of the tunnel, in a sense, is the fact that we are finding support on this initial high back here set back in mid-April. So this area has acted as a significant line of both resistant, not really resistance, I guess, but definitely a floor for EOS. Again, initial highs are going to act as somewhat of a floor. Now, this is granted, this is not EOS's initial high. I would actually consider EOS's initial high around like this area right here, around like the $5 region. But yeah, if I was a betting man, which I am, I would say that EOS is probably going to come down more just looking at the greater cryptocurrency environment, okay? So EOS downside price targets, if we do complete this head and shoulders, that would take us down to where we were just at the beginning of this month prior to this absolute parabolic breakout, around $7. So I'm personally a buyer of EOS around $7. I'm a hodler of a good amount of EOS at the moment, which is okay with me. I'm holding this for the long haul, but I do have a lot of liquid. I have been liquidating a lot of my crypto positions over the past couple of weeks. Shout out to the newsletter group. But I am personally a buyer of EOS, probably around $7, give or take a few cents. Okay, so that is EOS. Let's move on to Dogecoin. So Doge is still I'm not gonna touch this trend line and see how accurate I am by the end of this month. Okay, so let's hit this article with El Presidente, Mr. Portnoy. The events of that last couple of days and weeks have made me think I have to get involved in something beyond Bitcoin. Portnoy said, amid the slump sweeping across most crypto assets Tuesday, investors were turning their attention to a meme asset, SafeMoon, that was drawing fresh looks after the comments made by Barstool Sports brash founder Dave Portnoy on Twitter. Portnoy on Tuesday cheekily announced that he was buying $40,000 in SafeMoon out of an array of so-called meme assets like Shiba Inu and other assets that have benefited from forever around the parabolic surge in Dogecoin prices. SafeMoon was created in March. Ooh, we got a legacy play on our hands. This has been around for a while and is encoded to benefit hodlers or those who invest in a coin through bad times and good. That's so whack. Portnoy via Twitter describes SafeCoin as his SafeCoin. So what is describes SafeMoon coin as his shitcoin announcement and warned followers to invest at their own risk, adding that he has no idea how this works. So that pretty much sums up the entire crypto market right now. Just invest at your own risk. Everyone wants to make a quick bag. Everyone wants to have their $100 make them $1 million. And that's why coins like Dogecoin, like SafeMoon, are going up in value. It's for everyone who kind of missed the rally back in 2020, wants a quick bag, doesn't want to do any work. You're just hopping on the bandwagon. You're just part of the hype train, and you're going to be part of a massive, massive pump and dump ultimately, okay? So no idea how this works. That sums up so much of the retail environment. Sorry if I sound harsh, but that's the reality of how these things work. Dogecoin, Bitcoin, like if you guys thought Bitcoin was a bubble back in 2017, Bitcoin actually has fundamental value. Ether has very strong fundamental value. Link, like these are arguably like kind of in the security technology company realm. Bitcoin is obviously digital gold. Dogecoin is literally just like, it doesn't have a cap. It doesn't really have a team. I know Elon Musk is working with a team, whatever. I'll believe it when I see actual progress made there. But you guys do, like, this is the most classic pump and dump scheme that I've ever seen. But not scheme. I won't call this a pump and dump, but it's going to act like one. Maybe Dogecoin over the coming decade, if SpaceX does accept stuff, if SpaceX whatever does accept payment in Doge, if they make it the native currency for Mars, maybe when we move to Mars in 50 years to a century, Dogecoin will actually be fundamentally worth something. But right now, it's just so, this is hype. Like, this is, looking at this, like, look at this. Go back in time, go back to 2017 and look at Bitcoin on like a daily or weekly, I would say a daily time frame. It looks just like this. So I do think we're gonna see a very stark crash in Dogecoin. My price target remains from 15 to 20 cents. I don't know exactly where it's gonna bottom out, but I am expecting by month's end market, I do think that Dogecoin is gonna be worth 15 to 20 cents by June. Or at least by early June, okay? Maybe it takes a little longer. But the thing is, things fall way faster than they climb. And Doge climbed pretty fast, so it can fall even faster than that. Dogecoin price target remains at 15 to 20 cents. Moving on, close it out with Bitcoin. So before we do get into Bitcoin, and we'll just close it out with RIOT on the charts. Hackers buying Colonial Pipeline attack reportedly received $90 million in Bitcoin before shutting down. That is a bag. Key points, dark side. I actually like, that's a sick name for a hacker. Very appropriate name for a hacker group. The hacker group behind Colonial ransomware attack received $90 million in Bitcoin ransom payment, according to blockchain sleuth Elliptic. The cyber criminal gang, I want to say like epileptic. The cyber criminal gang shut down last week after losing access to its servers, and its cryptocurrency wallets were emptied. Elliptic said DarkSide's Bitcoin wallet contained $5.3 million worth of the digital currency before its funds were drained. So if you're talking 5.3 mil versus 90 mil, that's, I mean, there's a lot of Bitcoin floating around in the hands of these hackers. Hackers from a very conservative perspective are bad people. I don't know if they're bad people. I don't want to say they're bad people, but they're dark. I mean, they are the dark side. Okay. So, again, this not very important in my mind. Everyone's using Bitcoin. Bitcoin's pretty much like, it's, you guys know why they use Bitcoin. So this is the dark side of Bitcoin, little pun there. But, this is only a small piece of this is only a small piece of the pipeline of the Bitcoin ecosystem. Okay. Of course, like, money laundering happens every day with the US dollar. There's so much bad things that happen with the US dollar. You can make the same argument. This is just, again, back to the optics. The optics of this situation, the optics around Bitcoin are bad with everything Musk is doing. Bitcoin finally breaking, actually the support just now, finally actually testing the support line that I've had in place for the better part of a month at this point. So Bitcoin finally testing my like $41,000 level. And now that it looks like we want to break down, I think I'll talk to you guys about my price targets right now. So again, optics are bad. All of Elon's antics, Elon's Twitter rants, Elon's Tesla selling Bitcoin, bad optics. Hackers, cyber criminals, literally the dark side. Having Bitcoin, having a large chunk of Bitcoin, bad optics. Sorry, bad optics. There we go. But again, you guys, Bitcoin, it just broke it officially. Huge. But again, I've been waiting for this, guys. I've been prepared. So downside price target for Bitcoin, I've been saying this, is going to be about 35. Like, initial price target for Bitcoin is going to be $35,000 just because let's go to the daily, actually. We'll do the daily to close this out. And then we'll quickly talk about RIOT more as we close out the video, okay? So Bitcoin finally tested this price target that I've had, this initial high right here that I've been expecting Bitcoin to come down to for, again, like probably like 2 weeks or so now. Finally coming to about 41.2. Now that we've broken this, if we do break 40K, I do think it's highly likely that we come down to at least like $34,500, $35,000 to test this area right here. I do think we're going to see this area act as a little bit of a floor because it did act as an area of both support and resistance for Bitcoin in the past. So again, you guys, just looking at, once we start dumping, just look at historical areas of both support and resistance, ceilings, floors, and this $35,000 level does look real to me. Worst case scenario for Bitcoin is that we come down to test the initial high, like what I've been saying. So the initial high of this rally, I'm going to consider right here in mid-December, is going to be right here around $25,000. The reason I don't think this is extremely far-fetched, one, because that's still higher than 2017's high, okay? So a lot of times when we see a correction, it's not crazy to see corrections that, like, it's very common to see corrections of parabolic rallies go down to the initial high. So the first is the initial high. The second is you have to think about where whales, where hedge funds are going to want to buy in, where institutions are going to want to buy into Bitcoin. And they know that we're probably coming down to at least about 35K. And a lot of them are probably expecting 30K. So personally, I am a buyer of Bitcoin. I personally feel comfortable buying Bitcoin at around $35,000 from a fundamental perspective, because the fundamentals are still so strong, you guys. Like, the longevity of Bitcoin is still very real. Digital gold 2.0, ultimately $10 trillion market cap, maybe a $500,000 Bitcoin over the next 5 years, would not be surprised. So as far as a long-term time horizon goes, as a long-term investment, especially if you have it in like BlockFi or something, I'm keeping like all the Bitcoin I have in BlockFi, not touching it. That's earning me money even as the market goes down. BlockFi.com/Royce if you want a little bonus for both me and you when you sign up. If you're not on BlockFi, what are you doing? But again, ultimate price target to the downside, there's no chance that Bitcoin gets lower than, I would say, $25,000. Below $35,000 is a stretch. $30,000 is kind of the area where I'll be like, I'm super stoked about buying Bitcoin, in all honesty. So 30K stoked on buying Bitcoin, 35K willing to buy Bitcoin, and 25K my net worth is going into Bitcoin. Okay, so those are my price targets. And it's important to understand, you guys, that I don't think that we're not hitting $100,000 anytime soon. That's something that I do want to say right now. That sucks, but the rally, we've gone sideways for so long. Like right now, we're at the same price that we were at back in January, in all honesty. So relatively, like, volatility sideways for a very long time, and I just think the rally has faded, and that's okay. Because again, it gives you discounts if you're a long-term bull on the asset. Okay, so that's Bitcoin. Let's close it out with Riot and Mara. Of course, you guys, if I'm being a little short here with my price targets and stuff, I do want to. I mean, we've been talking for a long time, and I'm gonna make videos throughout this entire market. So don't worry, just stay tuned. So Riot did see a nice little bounce day, but just looking at this chart, these are just all the levels I'm looking at. I stay pretty adamant in the fact that $15 is my ultimate price target for Riot. Again, they did all right on earnings. But it's important to realize, like I've been saying with their earnings, like they had like over 100% year-over-year growth on revenue. Their profits are pretty meager for a $2 billion company. In all honesty, the revenue and profits are pretty weak for a $2 billion company. Granted, they are profitable. That's something that many companies aren't. But again, it's important to realize that when we were talking about Riot a year ago, it was $1.52. So even at current levels, it's over 10x. Even if it sees $15, which I'll say right now is like my Riot price target, $15, $16, $15 to $17. Even at that level, we've still 10x after that, even after a stark correction after today's price action. So that's kind of just my thought around Riot, you guys. I think it's going to take a while for us to come back. And again, similar to Bitcoin, we're not just going to bounce back. We're not just going to be back in action, unfortunately. You guys know I love these stocks. I want that to happen, but that's not the reality of how the markets operate when you're talking about kind of these massive sell-offs and cycle rotations, okay? So Riot price target is going to be about $15. Mara is going to be about the same. So close it out with Marathon Digital. Mara looks even worse. I think it's almost a guarantee in my mind that Mara comes down to about 14 or 15 bucks. I would say $14 to test this initial high right here. Like very, very clear Mara in a very strong short-term correction or short-term downtrend, strong descending channel, and a very, very clear initial high of the rally. Worst case scenario for Mara, honestly, is like $6-7. I think that's highly, highly, highly unlikely. But I do think it's very likely, in all honesty, that we do come down once again to about 14, to be very specific, about $14.70 to technically test the initial high of the rally set in late December, okay? So at these levels, I'm comfortable buying. Definitely not calls. Be very, very safe with call options, you guys, unless they're expiring like a year or two out. But regardless, I do think things are going to go sideways for a bit. The equity markets, I'm expecting blood tomorrow. I'm pumped. Hopefully you guys have been heeding kind of the warnings. As always, you guys make your own decisions. I've been wrong so much, you guys know that. But hopefully you guys have been prepared, at least a little bit, at least a decent chunk of your portfolio is in hedges right now, because the rest of this week, in my opinion, is going to be very, very bloody, and I could not be more prepared. So shout out to the newsletter gang, portfolio gang, the Discord group. I hope you guys are hedged, ready, got some commodities on deck as well. And hopefully I see a good birthday tomorrow. Once again, shout out to Ashley for this beautiful painting. Like, this is so sick. Like, it's so unique. So got the text player, got the signature yellow shades in it as well. I mean, obviously you saw that, but love this. Again, it's so humbling, in all honesty, to know that there's such talented individuals in the Waves family. And yeah, once again, let me know down below. We don't have to talk about crypto at all. Just let me know what you guys are interested in. Let me know when your birthday is. Let me know whatever you guys want to talk about, because during the bearish times, again, you can still make money. I'm excited to make money tomorrow. And that said, I know a lot of people are going to lose money. So always know that you have people around you, you have community, and that's the beauty of the Waves fam. So I'll talk to you guys downstairs, and until next time, always remember, take action, make waves. Peace, guys. I'll see you on Thursday.